Michael Popok, Legal AF. See that smile on my face? That means I've got what I've always wanted. Judge Chutkan versus Judge Cannon. Finally, Judge Chutkan is going to school Judge Cannon about what she should and shouldn't do in procedures related to Donald Trump in criminal cases. Particularly, we got a new order from Judge Cannon, which has, just so politely done a shot across the bow, telling Judge Cannon, hey, you know what you shouldn't do? You shouldn't let randos into your proceeding involving Donald Trump and grant them permission to file briefs as strangers to the case, because she just had a request by Raj Patel. Put a pin in him for a minute. I got to talk about this guy who files everything pro se on his own without a lawyer and is constantly trying to stick his nose into things related to Donald Trump. But when he met his match with Judge Chutkan, who in a paperless order, just to stay consistent with how Judge Cannon at Mar-a-Lago in the Florida case runs her courtroom, Judge Chutkan up in the D.C. election interference case very politely declined to let Mr. Patel file a brief. In fact, she wouldn't even let that brief go on the docket. Now, I'll tell you, I am sure she and her clerks read Mr. Patel's interesting legal brief, and legal is doing a heavy lift in that sentence, and declined to let him into the case. Here is what we have in particular. This is the order that we just got from the judge. Let me just read it for you, and you'll see, I think, very quickly why it has become Chutkan teaching Cannon how to run her courtroom. This is the order that we now have on the docket. It's leave to file denied. See, Judge Cannon allowed at least 5 different strangers to the case, 3 of which were in favor of Donald Trump, to file briefing related to whether Jack Smith, the special counsel, is a proper, valid constitutional officer and employee of the Department of Justice, or whether the indictment should be dismissed because, in Judge Cannon's view, there's no law that establishes a special counsel. I can't find it anywhere. Well, I don't know. Look in the Constitution. That's a good place to start, but not to Judge Cannon. And she invited a bunch of mischief makers to come in there, including Federalist Society professors of law, to file briefs to put her thumb on the scale and rule in favor of Donald Trump. Judge Chutkan, this is a whole different ball of wax. This is a person who is a 17-year litigator, a 15-year trial lawyer, and she's not letting that happen in her courtroom. Here's the paperless order. Motion for leave to appear pro se. That means without lawyer. He's not a lawyer. Raj Patel as to Donald J. Trump, even if construed as a motion for leave to file an amicus brief. Because what it looks like he was really doing, he was trying to intervene in the case. Like, hey, I'm interested. The last time he tried to do this, I'm going to read it to you in a minute. The last time he tried to do this, he tried to argue that one day he may run for president. If he runs for president, he's got an interest in how executive privilege is being exercised by Donald Trump in other cases. Let's just put the tinfoil hat wearing part of Raj Patel aside for a minute and just focus, everybody focus, on Judge Chutkan versus Judge Cannon. Here we go. Even if construed as a motion for leave to file an amicus or friend of the court brief, the court is not persuaded that filing this submission is warranted. Although courts have, in rare circumstances, exercised their discretion to permit third-party submissions in criminal cases, hello, Judge Cannon, rare circumstances, neither the federal rules of criminal procedure nor the local rules contemplate that practice. At this time, the court does not find it necessary to depart from the ordinary procedural course by permitting this filing, and I'm not making the document available either. Now, let's talk about it's hot outside, and your nighttime bedroom temperature has a huge impact on your sleep quality. If you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, no matter the weather. So you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands. and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Bacteria can clog your pores, causing breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo code LegalAF at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf and use the code LegalAF to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/legalaf to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. So that's the I know how to do this. Let's keep strangers out of the courtroom. Now, I reported earlier on another hot take that she summarily denied 8 other attempts to try to intervene in the case or file amicus in the case right away. Just like, I don't need any help here. In other words, the judge is saying, I've got a big enough boat. I know what I'm doing. Okay, I've got to take the immunity decision by the Supreme Court, my boss, is on July 1st. I've got to use it like a cheese grater, and I got to take the indictment for Jack Smith. I got to shove it through it and see what comes out the other side. Is it going to be a Swiss cheese indictment that's going to survive? Is it going to be the operative facts and allegations and crimes are going to survive my immunity scrutiny that's been required of me by the Supreme Court? I think the answer to that is yes. And I don't need anybody else coming in here. I also got to figure out whether 2 of the 4 counts survive another companion case by the Supreme Court called U.S. versus Fisher, whether obstruction of an official proceeding fits the fake elector allegations. And newsflash, it probably does. I don't need Raj Patel or any other strangers, drive-by participants in this case. Now, get this. Raj Patel seems to make a living out of filing suits in which he wants to be heard. So, for instance, he tried to intervene in the Mar-a-Lago case. Brings it full circle, Chutkan v. Cannon, right? Here's what he tried to do back a year ago, almost within 2 weeks to the day, actually 2 years ago, August 2022, right after the search warrant was executed. Raj Patel files a challenge to the DOJ's search warrant. So Patel asked to intervene. There was a group of other Republicans that wanted to file amicus briefs. Oh no, not Patel. He wanted to become a party to the case. He asked to intervene, saying that he was interested in becoming president one day. I am not making this up. He therefore had an interest in defending the right to assert executive privilege so that if he was ever elected, that privilege would be the way he wants it. He also asserted his right to freedom of religion was at stake for reasons he just mentioned but did not fully explain. Even Judge Cannon didn't think that intervention was appropriate. And so he wasn't granted there. But that's not the first time he's been on one side or the other of a case involving Donald Trump. In fact, he also filed... Get this. He also filed a case claiming that there were contracts that he had with Donald Trump, particularly, that needed to be enforced. And there was an action before the United States Civilian Board of Contracts and Appeals from June of 2022. The last thing I talked about was August of 2022, in which he claimed, listen to this, he claims that that there was a stress weapon that was used by Donald Trump, which allowed the United States to observe him, and that in exchange, the United States would not make sure nothing irreversible happens to him. In other words, he says there was a bargain where he would pay money and they wouldn't use some sort of stress weapon on him. You see where this is going? So there's that. Looks like to be apparently the same guy who's trying to get involved. And Cannon let people in, although even 2 years ago, Patel was too much for her. And now Chutkan's like, no, I don't need this. I don't need amicus briefs or other things to make my decisions. That's why they gave me the black robe. That's why I got it. That's my job. That's my job, right? Amicus friends of the court briefs are helpful if the judge is sort of struggling with analysis of the law and would like to hear from people that have legitimate interests and are scholars or have legitimate positions that they've taken. I get that. But here and in Mar-a-Lago, come on. We're going to continue to follow how Judge Chutkan gets ready for her end of August, beginning of September hearings to get this case against Donald Trump back on track with the special counsel in place. One side note, you'll note that at no time does the judge question whether Jack Smith is a legitimate prosecutor or not, or special counsel. And we've yet to see the filing where the special counsel is being attacked as being invalid in D.C. by the Trump side. But we will. It'll come. And you know where you can find it. MeidasTouch Network and, wait for it, Legal AF. Correct. Every Wednesday and Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, you can watch a live recording of our YouTube of our podcast called Legal AF, where we curate the top stories at the intersection of law and politics. We bring it to you right here. No smoke or sunshine, unplugged, unfiltered, not censored, unhinged. The best we can on the MeidasTouch Network. And you can help them get the 3 million free subscribers. We're so close. I think it's a Labor Day event for us. We're going to cross that finish line. Not Election Day, but with your help, only with your help. And then you can pick us up on audio podcast platforms of your choice. So until my next hot take, until my next Legal AF, this is Michael Popok reporting. Heary, heary, Legal AF Law Breakdown is now in session. Go beyond the headlines and get a deep dive into the important legal concepts you need to know and we discuss every day on Legal AF. Exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, all for the price of a couple of cups of coffee. Join us at patreon.com/legalaf. That's patreon.com/legalaf.